The fan meltdown heard round the world. Ticketmaster's massive site crash.
Ticketmaster is under fire and taking questions from lawmakers on the State Judiciary Committee today.
Ticketmaster is currently under fire, with accusations of manipulating high ticket prices for events because of their stronghold on the music industry. Fans have taken notice of the abundance of fees and have spoken out on social media, with sometimes even doubling the ticket's price. With demand rising, it seems as if the ticketing giant will keep taking advantage of the obvious money grab. Today, we'll be uncovering the corrupt monopoly created between the merge of Live Nation and Ticketmaster. In the 1980s and 1990s, the rock scene was taking over, with bands marketing their tours solely through any outlet that distributed media to the public: billboards, newspapers, and TV or radio stations.
Rock and roll bands is coming. It's gonna be the biggest show ever in the Hampton Coliseum with Van Halen.
Word would spread like wildfire between friend groups around the world, and that led to an increase in sales. Bands such as Pink Floyd in 1975, Van Halen in the 1980s, Bob Marley and the Wailers, and Fleetwood Mac all generated buzz through word of mouth. Most tickets were distributed through retailers and venue box offices. If a tour was big enough, a mail-in lottery system would be put in place, which people would send in a money order and return envelope and wait to be chosen. Record stores such as Camelot Music, Tape World, and Sam Goody all contributed to the sale of concert tickets within local communities. With more competition than there is today, Ticketmaster was still making a name for themselves. A concert in the 80s and 90s costed around $10 to $50 on average, while anything above that would be considered crazy.
First question is, what do you think of artists who do charge anywhere between $50 to $75 for tickets?
Who charges that much money?
In the mid-2000s, the world was shifting towards a more digital ticketing market, an online-based business. Ticketmaster was among some of the biggest ticketing platforms in the world, but in 2010, Ticketmaster would change the music industry. With the approval from the Department of Justice, a merge between Ticketmaster and Live Nation would take place. With Live Nation being a music industry giant, they were known for producing or booking large-scale events for mainstream artists, DJs, and bands. The merge raised eyebrows, but that didn't stop the two from making the deal and forming what could be called the music industry's biggest monopoly. A single company now had control over some of the biggest venues, artists, and festivals in the world, and ultimately controlled all event pricings. This would lead to Live Nation having control over the entirety of the concert experience. After the merge, revenue skyrocketed, year after year, bringing in billions of capital to then buy out all of the remaining competition. Other ticketing companies did not stand a chance. In 2015, they acquired Frontgate Tickets. The same year, they bought Universe. In 2017, TicketWeb and Strobe Labs. Finally, in 2018, Upgraded was purchased. With competition dwindling year by year, Ticketmaster seemed to be the place to turn to if a big tour was presented. Mainstream artists such as Taylor Swift, Luke Combs, Pitbull, and Post Malone all seemed to have used Ticketmaster to have access to big venues, which meant Ticketmaster had no way to be stopped.
There are Taylor Swift tickets on sale now that cost as much as a brand new car. Millions of fans went online this morning for pre-sale tickets to her Eras tour, but either couldn't get onto the Ticketmaster website or couldn't afford the tickets.
On November 15th, Ticketmaster would botch one of the biggest tour pre-sales ever recorded. With Taylor Swift announcing her new tour on Instagram, Ticketmaster was responsible for distributing tickets for the 27 venues within the Eras Tour. Fans with the presale code were hit with queues for up to 6 hours, slowly bringing them up the line hour by hour, until finally either Ticketmaster would show an error message or the checkout would not work. Ticketmaster then had to release a statement rescheduling the presale dates, which ultimately did nothing, as fans still struggled to get tickets. They then released a statement saying that tickets were no longer being sold to the public, for there was not enough volume. This caused panic, and prices began to go for over $20,000 and thousands for nosebleeds because of the demand, leaving Ticketmaster and Live Nation with all the profits.
The Justice Department is reportedly launching an antitrust investigation involving Ticketmaster and the mess involving Taylor Swift's new tour. The New York Times reporting the DOJ is looking into whether Live Nation, Ticketmaster's parent company, abused their stronghold on the industry.
The ticket prices, the base price, the artist does have a say in setting for sure, but those added Ticketmaster service fees, we have absolutely no say, and the venues claim that it's a Ticketmaster.
Mr. Berthold, you want to add anything to that?
Thank you. Yes, as Mr. Lawrence said, the band sets the ticket price. The service fee level is set by the venue.
You control the venue. Do you not?
After the presale drama, the company was now under investigation, with allegations of engaging in fraudulent practices with their monopoly, including fixing prices. They have denied all allegations, but that won't stop the media and artists to speak out against the ticketing giant. A country star, Zach Bryan, is currently fighting the problem, releasing an album called All My Homies Hate Ticketmaster. With the announcement of his new tour, he will not be using Ticketmaster or any of their venues.
This will start at $40 and won't be higher than $130. Service fees will be as low as $10 and no higher than $20 per ticket, plus credit card fees and state taxes that Zach and his sound homies have no control over.
With the walls closing in on Ticketmaster, we can only hope that the monopoly is broken up and competition is returned to the industry.